Hello golfers, welcome back to JD Golf TV, your home for playing better faster. Today's lesson comes at the request of one of our viewers, and it was a really good question. I did a video a while back about this left arm. I did some about how the wrists work, and he asked for more definition, so let's get after it. This is really interesting. Pushing the thumbtack into the ground. This is ulnar uncocking. When that happens, it actually forces this wrist to want to flex. Okay? And that, wait a minute, if I put that down here at impact and I uncock, again, that's ulnar deviation. Folks, push your thumb down. Okay? Uncock the wrist, whatever you want to call it. You'll see that that left hand is doing something really cool. Now, if I do it just in one direction, nothing happens. But if I do it in a squaring the club face direction, oh my goodness, my club shaft's leaning forward. Ain't that special? I'd like you to do a bunch of these every day at warm-ups. Okay, here we go. Thumb up, down. Oh, I hit that ball about 6 inches fat. But did you see that wrist action? Okay, here we go again. Up, down. Right to there. Now, when I do that, the curious thing is this club's not necessarily trying to go this way into this massive extension of the lead wrist. Isn't that special? Boy, I hope you guys get some of those things I say, like, isn't that special? Okay, here we go. Two hands. There's up, down. Oh, baby, that's really cool. When I'm doing that, I am doing that completely by left arm power, okay? I'd like to look at this one really, really quick. Normal address. Normal, reasonable grip. Nothing big. Okay, there's the wrist setting motion. Thumb up, if you will. Point the club shaft up. Now, as I come into the golf ball, whoa, that's doing something really wild in there, isn't it? Check out that wrist business. From here to there. How about that? Now, folks, that was a ton of forward shaft lean. And the fact of the matter is, you can only afford so much. If I had, which I don't, 95 miles an hour of club head speed with this iron, I could probably get that high enough in the air with that motion. But don't forget now, there's some force going on that you're not really in control of. As the club starts to take off away from you, the club's going to help you a little bit. But this one-arm drill and then the two-arm drill going to be really, really important. And you can, if you want, think of this about, hey, you know what? I just watched my daughter's high school match today. It's her last year of high school golf. Can't believe it. Well, her teammate needed to punch out underneath trees a couple of times. She could have used this motion and hit a little Tiger Woods stinger like nobody's business if she knew how to do that. Here is the official left hand only version. Thumb up, thumb down. Now, as I'm doing this, you're going to see that glove logo rotate toward the target. And that is not a wrist motion, folks. That is actually what's called supination of the left arm. Aha. And there you have it. That is the squaring of the face in the middle of uncocking. Now, you might want to say that the squaring of the face is automatic. It's not, folks. And just so you know, in the real world with the smart people that I know, not me, uncocking and flexion, so ulnar and flexion, are coupled motions. Unfortunately, so is extension and radial. So what happens to people? They get their wrists really out of whack. When they go back in the backswing, you'll see an awful lot of pros with a very flat wrist. Rory McIlroy has the most extended wrist that I can remember watching currently. But even in his transition, he goes right back into that motion. That is definitely a squaring the face motion. There's no question. As I go here, if I extend the wrist, Watch that club face open. Oh boy. If I flex the wrist, it squares back up. Extension, flexion, and then there's DJ. Oh gosh. You better be able to really, really turn super fast to be able to play with the face that closed. But it's not just that. There is some roll of this left arm. Okay, the hitchhiker. There's some of that. I will tell you that most people try to square their club face with a wrist motion that is actually the exact opposite of proper wrist motion. So the one-hander, then the two-hander. Okay, here's another two-hander for you. And all I'm doing is pushing that down. And by the way, that whole muscle group right there, you're going to see it massive on the professional golfers because that group of muscles right there helps to execute that exact wrist motion. Go figure. Up, down, up, down. Okay. So now it is up, down. Hey, I let it go at the end. You've heard me talk about the throw. Okay? Well, in this case, if you're working on this, you might not want to let that club fly till very late in the swing, like so. All right, I'm going to call that A plus delivery motion, just so you see it. Doink. That'll do, donkey. Very interesting the way that this grip is rising. Okay? There you go. That is a Tiger Woods stinger, folks, if I ever saw one. Ben Hogan hit a lot of shots like that. And then there's some looseness up there. Right? Boy, you're going to see that shot a lot. Now, this is not a full power shot, but it is really effective for irons. And if you are struggling with flipping it, that's a wonderful way to play golf. Believe it or not, a lot of golfers will actually start to hit the golf ball farther with that little sawed-off, Tommy Fleetwood-ish type finish, only because they compress the ball so well. I hope that makes sense to you. While you're practicing this, you're going to get a really cool feel and a really, really cool sound. Because when I do the right thing with my wrist, I uncock it, and I feel that thing turning. My brain knows that I can't square the face up like that. So as I uncock, my brain is automatically helping me turn the glove logo to the target. I've been doing this a long time, folks. What are you going to do? That motion right there really helps move the divot forward. That's a huge deal. If you ever have fat and thin shots, you know that they're both, the low point of your swing is back here somewhere. Fat shot, you get unlucky, hit the ground first. Thin shot, you get luckier. You hit the low point and come up into the golf ball. That's a job for you to go visit the law of the circle. Well, when I'm hitting these golf shots, it's really interesting to me, like as a feel, a fooling around kind of feel, to take that grip around me like this, down. Man, that feels so solid. All right, now that's 68.7 miles an hour. Not really warmed up at all, folks. I'm going to see if I can get that going. I'm only hitting today a 9-iron. And I think a 9-iron for me at 77, 78 would be full speed. All right. .74. Whoa, that's pretty good. That's a 141 7-iron. I only hit this about 145 at maximum, and that's only once in a while when I don't feel so tight. Got a little faster there, old timer? Now, there's 143, and I am giving that a little extra business there. It is folding up at the end. We'll look at this one more time, and I hope that this whole idea makes a lot of sense. I'm getting compression, low point forward, so contact. I'm getting decreased loft, going to go farther. Right? I'm getting the club face square. Other than that, what the heck else is there in golf? Let's look. Okay, I'm going to be totally honest. I don't even know I shift my weight. I think my brain does that because it knows the only way to get the divot forward is by doing so. All right, there's the entire grip. Both hands in front of that club face at impact. That'll do. My left arm is vertical. This is one thing I really do like to see. Wouldn't mind and eventually seeing my left leg straighten up a little bit more by then and a little bit earlier by here. But you can see this whole thing go. I'm not really recocking the wrist there. And I'm kind of letting it go a little bit at the very end. Boy, that's reminiscent of some really, really cool shots I've seen right there. That is a Ben Hogan-ish kind of follow through. No, I'm not comparing him to me because there's no comparison. I'm much fatter. Okay, I hope that really helps you understand what we're doing with that wrist action and why and how to learn it. Every one of my students is supposed to be starting off their warm-ups just like that, just to train that motion, because a lot of folks, well, they're so right-handed that this thing doesn't even work. And they get their hands back here at impact, and the right arm is doing all the work coming into the golf ball. They can't hit the ball solidly. They can't control the flight, and it goes wicked high and wicked short. So there you go. Get to work on that, folks. Get after it.